7.27 for Griffin on that second wave, so getting some credit for that, digging in just that extra little bit on that opening manoeuvre. Matty McGilvraith's right in this heat though. Big slice from him, cutting right back into the bowl. Needs a 7.27 here, steep section. He hammers it, drives back up into the pocket again. What a combination on the outside. He's on his way to the required score here. Let's see how he finishes this ride off. Really strong carve. This guy has great extension through his calves, but really relying on those big pocket hits at the moment to fetch the score required. And he's going to do well to hang on to the finish on the inside. The rankings and potentially give herself a shot at a world title in a rookie season. But Carissa Moore, she's going to try and just hold that run just a little bit with this ride. She needs a 4.35 out of this one to get herself back into the #1 position and potentially into the quarterfinals here. Nice hit, this wave. A nice flow to it. You can just see some of that texture starting to dissipate, and it's cleaning up a little bit here as Carissa brings this one through to the inside. Goes to the layback jam. A lot of power on a tricky section. Oh, anticipation is just one of the big keys here at Jeffreys Bay. You know, you start getting excited about what's coming your way from the moment you spot those big swell lines, and then the surfers get up, they race towards that first section. And Yago's let go of a decent opening manoeuvre here. Big section standing up. Beautiful turn there, well placed. And still has a lot of room to move down the line here. He's on his way to the number required. He needs a 7.17. And this has definitely been the best wave. And Yago's starting to really throw down some of the best surfing that we've seen in this heat as well. What a combination. And he celebrates.
Mighty impressive. Meanwhile, live action, ripping down. A big jam off the rail. Felipe Toledo, your world #1 in the yellow jersey. Hits it hard off the lip, throwing spray. And just carving again, goes right past a duck dive in Nat Young and hits the lip for a finish. And he waited a long time for that wave. Really nicely served. Meanwhile, behind him, Toledo will just watch this one. And from down the point, Nat Young, backhand attack from him. Nice and spicy on the first turn. Patient at the bottom, and again vicious, releasing the tail. It's so critical in the pocket, couldn't be any tighter. Goes over the lip with a little drift on the tail, and again beautiful clinical precision surfing. The lip line with a little adjust straight into the big dog.
Let's see, he's gonna have a little dig on this one, using his priority, needing that number.
Making a decision is O'Leary. Under 3 minutes in this, he'll cruise high line through the opening part, the coiled spring. The whipping turn in the pocket. O'Leary again off the bottom, driving hard. Just uses that power to throw out spray. Takes on the lip there, a little more vertical. So nice variety from him. That's super critical. Good spring in his step, and clocks it again. Really nice. That wave kind of grew in high.
Let's have a look at Geordie's replay here. Just casual. He's got so much trust in the wave here at Jeffreys.
Yeah, sitting up on Joel Parkinson's spot, I think, for this one. Way up the point, coming around, taking his time, carving out of the lip. Thought there might have been a barrel there, but there was a bit of a kink in it. And then I just like that he's just cruising, just setting himself up into the right position. Knew it was going to barrel at some point with the angle of this wave. Beautiful barrel into a huge carve. Coming around, and then gets the lip glide to finish off.
Looking for opportunities, and obviously as the more the heats go by, the better read they get on this swell. And in with an entry here, Dora. Then he'll swing one, just over 7 to go in this. What's he got? We see him on a steep wall here. Off the bottom, bangs one. Nice and steep. Little drift in that turn as well. Again, hits it nice and hard, really critical in the pocket. Judges want to see that. And it is a dynamic pocket, absolutely racing away. And he finds himself some cover, gets in a real throaty tube. He'll go again here, pulling in, grabbing the rail. Yago Dora streaking through a backhand barrel. Wow, makes it out and goes floppy, loves it. Meanwhile, Robinson, is he inside this? Is he coming out? He is. Jack Robinson is absolutely flying through a barrel here. Shut the front door. Jack Robinson points at the panel. He ain't done yet. Big, meaty carve down again. And just belting it for good measure one more time. How about that stuff from Jack Robinson?
Oh, my.
Let's have a look at this.
Yeah, he kind of telegraphs down the line to get around this big section, starts to get that rail work done. Beautiful line through that. Goes right back into that white water. Swings it around again. This wave is shaping up to be an absolute beauty, and he knows it. As he turns this corner, finds this section, absolutely disappears from cover. First section, eyes off this thing, decides to go around it. He's telegraphing down the line to really get deep on this tube. Beautiful, threaded through the section, that deep barrel, kind of winds it around there. I just love that expression from him as he comes out of the tube. And I mean, as surfers, we all have those moments on waves where you're like, oh.
That's just got to give you so much to take the next round.
Definitely, that momentum that you can carry just by hearing that number, by hearing the beach announcer announce that you've got an out-1-7, you get a bit of pep in your step, and it definitely carries through to your performance on your next wave.
Italo Ferreira here, swinging, setting up, looking down the line as he projects his energy and his speed. Big floater, almost wobbled himself off. Such good control, though, from that compact stance from Italo. Slicing with a hooking backhand turn, hard off the bottom. Another big finish as well. Tubes are, what kind of tubes they are, all of this stuff making up part of the score. Meanwhile, a man who is ever dangerous at any location, particularly out here. Finalist last time we were here, back in his title season. Italo Ferreira tagging it really hard. Loads of amplitude from his surfing, going all the way from the bottom of the wave right up to the top. Belts that turn massive, hangs it up and lands, and he loves it.
And we're going to see it. I mean, there it is. Watch this first section, and that was exactly that, right there in the most critical part of the wave. And it's still loaded up with a bunch of energy here, and he's attacking it one more time. He somehow just keeps that cat-like ability to stay on top of his board, and especially when that whole barrel filled up with water, and he slides out of it, no worries, and gets to the finish.
That was so solid. 9.17 is the number, and looking to improve on a 7. And I think that speed-wise, he's just got a bit of an edge over Kaio at the moment. He's just finding these waves that really do stretch out real quickly, staying out in front of it, letting go of a variety of turns. As he whips that one down into the bowl, now looks to set up the tube on the inside, grabs that wall, and stays nice and high. Finds the exit, and now drives up into the lip one more time. Nice layback finish.
Ton of ways, Geordie making that wave selection pay off, Rosie.
Oh, yeah, and Geordie straight off the bat pulls under the hood, just really maximizing the time under the lid there. It was a little bit of a dirty entry into that barrel, but still just so deep and undercover. But I also like the fact that he is just so in tune with this wave and finding more scoring potential on the inside.
Speaking of energy from the crowd, the was is down, sampling the vibes. What have you got, Strider?
This kind of energy out of the crowd when you...
Only really needs to kind of redirect, do an impressive turn. McGillivray, big roar from the crowd. This one's hollow, and he gets in the barrel. Oh, he's nice and deep here. McGillivray, what's he got? He's still traveling, Matt McGillivray. An unbelievable tube ride. The crowd laps it up. Big hook down out of the lip, tags it hard.
Oh, here's Steph on the outside. We could see those sets coming from a mile away. She's going to get a chance here to answer on the opening exchange. It was a 5.5 for Gabriella Bryan. And Gilmore has a beautiful looking wall. This one seems to be standing up nicely on the outside. It's a good size. Steph looks to set up the barrel, stops on the tail. Now climbs to the front of her board, gets the exit. And back up into the pocket. Nice little slice off the top there. And just so refined her.
Yeah, a little bit off kilter as we see Tati, second wave of the set, shaping up nicely.
Western Webb with a load of speed here. Look at this section for a hard off the bottom. Really nice whipping carve under the lip at speed again. Just dragging that tail and those fins through a really powerful motoring lip. And loads of whitewater here. She'll deal with it pretty well. Tatiana has gone a long way down the point here. She might get another section stand up here. Western Webb, another big turn for her. And she's in rhythm on this wave. She's really centered on that board and does really good work. So going close to the...
What they need to do if they want to be at this top level. So Iago, this is what we're talking about. This beginning section of the wave didn't really offer him much. He doesn't get too critical. And he's just waiting for this inside section because that's where it really starts to grow fangs. He waits on the bottom there, meets that lip line. That's also just a little bit hung up there, but that turn right there, searing. Here he really meets the opportunity and the velocity of this wave. He just gathers that speed, which is...
Yeah, critical and dangerous. Doing those types of surfing is
Important wave for Tyler Wright here. Drops a hammer on a powerful section and keeps the momentum. Beautiful section opening up. Big rail jam for her. And she's going to need more of that aggression, more of these steep sections, another tight wrap in the pocket, keeping it critical because a little slopey here. She's having a look down the line. What's a two-time world champ got for us here? She's just holding her line through a long, drawn-out section. Another tight snap with a ton of aggression as well into the lip for a finish as she hits it. And there's a little
8-5 in her scoreline. Let's see this thing start to finish, Laura.
Yeah, a bit fat at the start. We didn't get to see this, so let's see. But she waited for it right here to just bowl up and get straight up in the lip for that first turn. So nice and critical, slashing next turn. I just love the way that she can just whip her board around, slicing through there just to stay in the pocket and waiting for this absolute hammer, critical top to bottom turn that...
Yeah, almost looked like he was in two minds about this ride, but he's fully committed now. Straight into one of those big drawn-out calves, up into the pocket, drifts those fins, and that's an aggressive approach. He's on his way to a good opener already, bouncing back over the foam, staying close to the bowl here. Robinson showing great variation as he gets on the attack here in the final of the Corona Open J-Bay. The West Aussie surfer on an incredible run this year, chasing his third victory in 2022. And he has kicked off with a bang as he looks to really reignite this ride down the line with something exciting. There's a bit of foam on the face, though, so it's going to be tricky. But he is sticking with it, just looking for any extra numbers that he can on the inside. It's gotten a little disjointed down the line, but he did do some great work on that outside section. Didn't get that big. Bit of an exchange unfolding here at the moment in this final. A seesawing battle between Ethan Ewing and Jack Robinson, and Ethan getting this one, Pete, during the interview.
Yeah, this 4 turns right here are solid as they come. Bigger wave, bigger section. This one here just tail taps, keeps that speed flying down the line into another beautiful arc. And then the finish, the big down carve, feels like to me that this is going to be a number that's going to go into his top 2. And if it's above the 7.67, he's going to cut into that lead. Matter of fact, if he gets the 8.1, he takes the lead. Beautiful arc there, pushing hard. Nice and clean, just the top to bottom. There was a couple double pump bottom turns, but oh, some passion. We like it.
Ethan Ewing buzzing after that ride, and Luke Egan, we don't often see that from the Queenslander.